Check this out. We have got his angelic wife, Bai Ningbing, and his cold-as-ice ex-wife, Liu Ruyan. Both of them are literally clinging to his arms, and his left side is wrapped in pure, soft heaven.
Bai Ningbing is curled up against him like a cute kitten, with her nightgown strap slipping right off.
She keeps nuzzling into his neck, sleepily mumbling for her dear husband to not move a single inch. But on the right, a freezing stare locks onto him because his ex, Liu Ruyan, is wide awake. She is straight up glaring at him with a look that says she wants to eat him alive. Yet she does not let go at all. Instead, she squeezes his right arm even tighter. Pressing it against her chest, our main character is completely frozen right now. He has sweet warmth on the left and a wild mix of ice and fire on the right. Then, Bai Ningbing sleepily opens her eyes, spots her rival, and wakes up in a heartbeat. She instinctively grips his left arm like crazy and demands to know why she is still here. Liu Ruyan just sneers and refuses to back down, tightening her grip on him right back. She claims that is her line, leaving our boy pulled until it hurts. One left, one right, an angel versus a freezing cold glacier. They are holding him super tight, and neither of them will let go. They are basically ripping him in half, and he was only away for 2 weeks. He actually snuck back home a day early, hoping to surprise his cute little wife. But waking up the next morning, yeah, that surprise instantly turned into a total nightmare. How did this even happen? Let us rewind to when his plane landed. As soon as he turned on his phone, a mountain of notifications started flooding in. Most of them were from his loyal special assistant, Old Chen, confirming the massive European corporate takeover was officially wrapped up. Chen promised to handle the follow-up, noting that those rival companies President Fang wanted to target are in deep trouble. All had terrible quarterly reports, and 2 of them were already on the verge of total collapse. Plus, that ultra-premium Wagyu beef and giant bluefin tuna he wanted had already been air-freighted directly to his private mansion. Even his premium winemaking grapes had arrived, hand-picked exactly to meet his ridiculously high and strict quality standards. As the big boss, he just casually swiped his screen and sent a quick reply telling him got it. He told them to proceed as planned and let those rivals struggle for another month. His vacation is not over yet, so he ordered the chefs to get ready. Go research some legendary, mind-blowing recipes that are so delicious they literally rip your clays off. He told them to keep busy because he is arriving home tomorrow. After sending the messages, he muted his phone and leaned back comfortably into his seat. Letting out a deep sigh, he thought about this trip to Europe. On paper, a business trip. In reality, a vacation. On the surface, he is just the useless, spoiled heir of the massive Fangxi group. A playboy heir who only cares about partying. But behind the scenes, this man is literally a walking cheat code. He secretly runs a massive, worldwide commercial empire. He literally toys with elite business moguls like chess pieces. But, of course, absolutely nobody knows his secret. He is just tired of the grind. In his past life, he worked himself to death at his desk. He never even looted a secret document in Delta Force, always getting blown up by bridge-camping Ulurus. He did not even get to spend his Havoc coins before reincarnating as a filthy rich heir. Now, he just wants to lie flat and dump all the heavy lifting on workaholics like old Chen. While they grind away, he only needs to steer the ship from the comfort of his couch. He is fully enjoying life, basically transforming into the supreme, ultimate master of the lazy lifestyle. Since no one has ever perfected the art of doing absolutely nothing, he is ready to claim that title. With workouts, gourmet food, fine wine, and perfect 8-pack abs, this man is living the absolute dream life. Living the absolute dream with his hobbies instead of suffering through boring corporate meetings every day. Oh, by the way, his loyal assistant Chen was temporarily assigned to him out of nowhere. Apparently, this guy's a Wall Street legend, leaving some poor soul in another world completely helpless. Rumor has it that without Lao Chen, that other guy is living a total nightmare. But who cares, right? Fang Yuan steps off his private jet, his driver already waiting outside. The driver asks if they're heading back to Yunding Villa, and Fang Yuan checks the time. It is 10 p.m., a whole day earlier than his original schedule. A sudden idea pops into his head. He should head straight to Lin Fangwan. That is the marital home he shares with his wife Bai Ningbing in their business marriage. They have been married for a year now, keeping a polite, respectful distance. Actually, scratch that. They are basically just wealthy roommates sharing a massive house.
She takes the master bedroom while he takes the second, never crossing boundaries, but she is a genuinely wonderful girl.
Drop-dead gorgeous, gentle, and kind as an angel, with a flawless family background to match. Honestly, her family status is even higher than his own, and back when they first got together, his grandfather had to beg to make it happen, especially since he previously had a fiancée named Liu Ruyan.
She is an absolute business genius and a total ice queen, but she completely looked down on him.
At their engagement banquet, right in front of the entire crowd of guests,
she pointed right at his face, yelling that Fang Yuan was just a useless, pleasure-seeking loser. She declared that someone as legendary as her could never marry a guy like him. Then she unilaterally broke off the engagement, and how did our boy react to that?
He literally popped a bottle of 82 Lafite right there, toasting her and thanking her. He wished her luck finding her true prince and begged her not to disturb his peaceful, lazy life. Everyone in the room thought he had lost his mind or was just pretending to be fine.
But honestly, he was secretly celebrating because he finally dodged a major bullet.
Getting rid of that toxic woman was the best thing ever, leading to his marriage with Bai Ningbing. While he might not be head over heels for Bai Ningbing yet, he genuinely likes her.
She is like a quiet lily, never demanding anything and just minding her own business. She just quietly radiates positive vibes, and throughout their entire year of marriage, she has never once interfered with his life or demanded a single thing from him. He even gave her an unlimited black card, but she never swiped it a single time.
When he sent her designer bags and expensive jewelry, she sent them all right back untouched. She told him straight up that they were only in a contract marriage. She refused to take his money or gifts, making her the most perfect partner imaginable.
Seriously, she is an absolute treasure, which is why he decided to head home early.
He wants to surprise her, grab some late-night food, and maybe bond a little. Just some casual roommate bonding, you know? Soon, the car pulls up to the villa. He gestures for the driver to stay back, grabbing his own suitcase to head inside. He quietly slips through the front door, finding the entire villa dead silent. Only a warm yellow light glows in the entryway as he kicks off his shoes. Leaving his luggage in the corner, he carefully tiptoes his way up to the second floor. His own bedroom door is wide open, but the room is completely empty. Frowning, he wonders why she is not back yet, then glances toward the master bedroom. The door is slightly cracked open, with a faint, warm light glowing from inside. Holding his breath, he creeps closer to peer inside through the narrow gap. On the bed, there is a tiny lump wrapped in blankets, showing only a fluffy head. The bedside lamp is turned all the way down, warm light wrapping around her peaceful, sleeping face. Bai Ningbing seems completely exhausted after a long day, sleeping incredibly soundly. Her long, delicate eyelashes cast soft, fan-like shadows under her eyes. Watching her sleep, Fang Yuan's heart softens. Honestly, after a whole year together, he has never really looked at her this closely. After being away on a half-month business trip, he actually missed her. He shakes his head with a chuckle, wondering what he is thinking. After all, she is just his roommate, and he is probably just exhausted and slightly tipsy. With a heavy head, he leaves her be. He slips back to the guest bedroom, washes up, and collapses onto the soft bed.
The bed is huge and comfortable, and he passes out almost instantly.
A peaceful night, but wait until morning comes. He is suddenly startled awake by an incredibly eerie atmosphere, feeling like he just fell into an absolute freezer. Specifically, the kind of freezer with massive blowers blasting sub-zero air from both sides. Icy chill on the left, pure murderous aura on the right. These two heavy forces weave together, forming an invisible, suffocating net all around him. He is pinned right in the center, completely unable to move as he struggles to open his eyes. The first thing that comes into focus is the ceiling. And yes, it is definitely his room, featuring the exact crystal chandelier he handpicked himself. Then he slowly and stiffly turns his head, scanning the room inch by inch. On his left sits Bai Ningbing, his nominal wife, perched on the edge of the mattress. She is wearing a pair of adorable bunny pajamas, but her expression is absolutely not cute right now. Those clear, beautiful eyes of hers are currently pooling with heavy tears. With her eyes turning red, she looks like she has suffered some massive, heartbreaking injustice. She tightly bites her lower lip, her gaze filled with absolute shock. Staring at him like he is some heartless, cheating villain? Talk about a rough start. Fang Yuan's brain completely short-circuits. How on earth did she get in here?
She was sleeping soundly in the master bedroom last night, but before he can even think,
the absolutely terrifying, murderous aura coming from the right side forces him to turn his head over. This next part is actually crazy. Standing right there is Liu Ruyan, the Ice Queen ex-fiancée who dumped him. The very woman who called him useless is sitting on his bed. She is still in her office wear from yesterday, though it looks slightly wrinkled. Her short hair is messy, and even her makeup cannot hide her exhaustion. And underneath that makeup, just pure fury. Unlike Bai Ningbing's tearful heartbreak, her gaze is a toxic mixture of disgust and resentment. It is completely laced with contempt and murderous intent, sharp as an icy blade. She looks ready to slice him into pieces. Mind you, Fang Yuan has lived 2 whole lifetimes. He even passed professional training from the Ding Dong system, so he has seen it all. He prides himself on keeping his cool even if the world collapses, but this exact situation? This is completely beyond his wildest dreams. On one hand, his sweet, angelic wife of 1 year. And on the other, the cold ex-wife who dumped him, both sitting on his bed like angry guardians. Both of them are staring him down with the exact same murderous glare. The silence in the room is absolutely terrifying. The tension is so high, he can hear his heartbeat. Yep, the system completely set him up. This is a hell-level, absolute nightmare of a relationship war zone. No wonder they assigned old Chen to help him. This is a total disaster. Fang Yuan tries to surprise his wife by coming home early, but gets a total jump scare instead. Talk about a double nightmare. His icy ex-fiancée Liu Ruyan is lying right next to him. Her voice is literally colder than a Siberian blizzard as she demands a full explanation. But what can he even say? Honestly, he wants to know what the hell is going on too. Fang Yuan tries to speak, but his throat is so dry, not a single sound comes out. He quickly checks under the blanket, breathing a sigh of relief when he sees his pajamas are still fully on. Even better, his ex-fiancée is fully clothed too. No crazy business actually went down. So yeah, thankfully nothing rated R actually happened here. But the vibe? Absolutely suffocating. He awkwardly tries to break the ice, begging them to listen. Desperate to clear the air, he blurts out a completely stupid good morning. Bro, he immediately wants to facepalm. Good morning? Really? That is so bad. And yep, those words completely trigger his contract wife, Bai Ningbing. Tears immediately well up in her eyes and start rolling down. She asks him how he could do this to her, her voice totally cracking. She cries that even with their contract marriage, she is still his wife. So how could he do this? How could he bring his ex into their home and onto their bed? She is getting super emotional. By the end, she is fully crying, leaving our guy completely stressed out. Wait, hold on. This is the guest bedroom, not their bed. It is his own bed, and what does she mean he brought her back? He came home entirely alone last night. He begs Ningbing to listen. He begs her to let him explain, but she just blocks her ears. She shakes her head violently, screaming that she does not want to hear a thing. She tells him he is a massive disappointment before running out of the room in tears. Now only Fang Yuan and Liu Ruyan are left, and the vibe gets incredibly frosty. Taking a deep breath, he forces himself to lock in and stay calm. He turns to Liu Ruyan, suggesting there must be some massive misunderstanding. She just scoffs, her laugh dripping with pure sarcasm at his excuse. She tells him he is still the same pathetic guy using cheap, clumsy excuses. She stands up and glares down at him with absolute disgust. Her eyes are filled with pure disdain, saying she never expected him to be this low. She asks if this cheap trick is his way of getting revenge for her calling off their engagement. This ex is toxic. She says he succeeded in disgusting her. Fang Yuan frowns. Dirty tricks? What on earth is she even talking about? His voice turns cold as he tells her he has zero clue what she means. He explains he literally just flew back from Europe last night and collapsed in bed from exhaustion. He has absolutely no idea why she is in his private room. And lying in his bed, if she cannot explain this, she is the suspect. But she just laughs it off like it is the funniest joke she has ever heard.
She snaps at him to stop acting, bringing up some VIP nightclub incident.
She accuses him of having someone spike her drink there. The nightclub? His mind races because that place is a super high-end private club. Security there is incredibly tight, plus his plane landed at 10 p.m. last night. He got home at 11 p.m. and never went near that club, but she thinks he is just lying. Liu Ruyan's face turns freezing cold as she explains what happened after her meeting. She only had one glass of wine sent by his people before completely blacking out. And waking up here. She pauses. Humiliation flashes in her eyes, telling Fang Yuan he really surprised her. She used to think he was just a lazy loser.
Now, he is just absolute trash.
Straightening her wrinkled clothes, she steps into her high heels and walks out without looking back. The door slams shut with a loud bang. Our main character is left alone on the bed, feeling completely drained. He looks around the empty room, his mind a tangled mess. And honestly, this is low-key heartbreaking. He is blamed for everything. What kind of absolute nightmare is this? But someone is clearly pulling the strings. Someone drugged Liu Ruyan and had her delivered straight into his bed. And by pure coincidence, he came home early, while Bai Ningbing was also sleeping there. Talk about an insane setup! This is a calculated trap designed to simultaneously destroy his life. Along with both girls, at this point, Fang Yuan's eyes turn ice cold. He usually lays low, but targeting him is a massive mistake. And he is ready to tear everything down. He throws off the blanket and steps barefoot onto the cold floor. His mind has never been sharper. He pulls back the heavy curtains. Blinding sunlight floods the room. He squints, looking down. Down below, Liu Ruyan's understated Maserati lets out a powerful roar. It speeds away, leaving only dust. He immediately calls his assistant, Old Chen. The call is answered almost instantly. Old Chen respectfully asks how he slept, but the vibe is completely off. Fang Yuan cuts straight to the point, his voice colder than ice. Terrible. Old Chen is taken aback. Fang Yuan commands him to start investigating. He wants to know Liu Ruyan's exact movements at the club last night. Every single drink she had. Plus how she entered his house. He demands a complete, detailed report. 30 minutes, he orders. Chen agrees instantly. Old Chen does not ask a single question, accepting the task right away. This efficiency is why he is a top-tier assistant. No fluff. Hanging up, Fang Yuan rubs his aching temples. Now he has to deal with another major headache in the house. The master bedroom door is shut tight, and he can already picture it. Inside, she is crying. He raises his hand to knock, but hesitates, wondering how he can even explain this. Will she believe him? She is literally his newly called-off fiancée. Finding another woman in his bed at midnight would break any girl's trust. Still, he gently knocks anyway. There is no answer from inside, only the faint sound of suppressed sobbing. Fang Yuan's heart squeezes with actual pain as he calls out Ningbing's name. He keeps his voice as gentle as possible, begging her to open up and talk. But Ningbing outright refuses, her voice trembling with heavy tears and pure anger. She tells him to go away, but he insists that things are not what they look like. Ningbing cuts him off instantly, telling Fang Yuan to stop making up lies. She says she should have known that he and Liu Ruyan belong in the same world. Asking what she even means to him, her words pierce his heart like a needle. What is she to him? To her, this nominal husband is no different from a cheater. At this point, he literally looks like a scumbag who just ruined everything. Leaning against the door with a heavy sigh, Fang Yuan promises not to go inside yet. But he begs her to listen to the truth even as she keeps screaming no. Raising his voice slightly, he explains that he only got home at 11 last night. He was on a plane the whole time and never saw Liu Ruyan. He has no idea how she got in, but promises to find out the truth. Taking a deep breath, his tone softens as he delivers the final truth. He admits their marriage started as a mere contract, but his feelings are real now.
She is his wife, and he would never do anything to betray that bond. He is being completely honest, even if deep down love has not fully blossomed yet.
Respect and responsibility as her husband are things he takes very seriously. Inside, the crying slowly starts to quiet down. Thank goodness she is actually listening. He asks her for just a little time to set everything straight for them. He tells her to stop overthinking and please stop crying.
Trying to lighten the heavy mood, he jokes that crying ruins her pretty face.
But even with his attempt to ease the tension, silence fills the room again. He knows trust takes a second to shatter, but a lifetime to rebuild. Ready to prove it with actions, Fang Yuan heads downstairs straight to the kitchen. Opening up the fridge, he finds it completely packed with various ingredients. Everything is incredibly fresh, proving she took great care of herself while he was away. He pulls out some premium Wagyu beef, eggs, and fresh milk.
He is literally going full master chef to try and fix this mess.
If one delicious meal cannot solve their problems, then he will make two. Tying on his apron, he starts prepping the food with masterclass precision. The sound of sizzling steak and rich butter quickly fills the entire kitchen with warmth. Within 30 minutes, a beautifully plated breakfast is ready to be served.
It features seared Wagyu beef, sunny-side-up eggs, and perfectly golden toast. Grabbing a glass of warm milk, he carries the tray back upstairs to her.
He notices the master bedroom door is now slightly cracked open. Pushing it open, he sees Bai Ningbing sitting quietly on the bedroom floor. She is hugging her knees, her eyes swollen from crying so hard. Looking just like a scared little rabbit, she flinches as he walks inside. She instinctively tries to turn away, but he gently places the tray down. Kneeling right in front of her, he asks her to eat some breakfast first. Warning her that skipping meals is bad, she just turns away, claiming she is not hungry. He gently insists she must eat, bringing the warm glass of milk to her lips.
Our boy Fang promises this is her last bowl of shaved ice. After that, she can do whatever she wants.
Ningbing hesitates, but she still leans in. Taking small sips, the warm milk finally calms her down. This is honestly so wholesome. Then, Fang hands her a fork to try the steak he just learned to cook.
She quietly takes it and pops a small piece in her mouth.
She instantly freezes. He asks how it is, totally teasing her. But she grabs another bite anyway. Guess he successfully won her over. The tension melts away. But then, boom! Fang's phone buzzes with an urgent email from old Chen. He skims it, and yep, it completely confirms his suspicions. Turns out Liu Ruyan was indeed meeting a client last night, and guess who? It was Ji Boda. That guy is the Fang family's biggest rival, and the email includes CCTV footage. In the video, a waiter delivers a drink to Ruyan's table. He whispers it is from President Fang, leaving her totally surprised. She downs the drink without suspecting anything. Soon she gets delirious, and Ji Boda tries to drag her away. Classic villain move. But they shut him down. In the chaos, a masked man claiming to be Fang's driver steps in. He sneaks her out the back door and shoves her into an unmarked black van. Meanwhile, security logs show someone breached his home at 1 a.m. They used a high-clearance keycard to open the gates.
Who could even have that card besides Fang and Ningbing?
Only old Chen and his dad. Things are getting seriously wild. This is not just normal business rivalry. It is a conspiracy aimed at our boy. The enemy is weaponizing Ruyan to destroy his relationship with Ningbing. The Bai family is their key ally, so a rift would ruin everything. If they split, the Ji family wins.
Killing two birds with one stone. Clever, but Fang locks his phone.
His gaze is ice cold. They really thought he was a pushover. He looks up, locking eyes with Ningbing. She has finished her breakfast and is watching him closely. Sensing her anxiety, he passes her the phone to see for herself. She takes the phone and starts reading, her eyes widening with every single line. Pure shock is written all over her face, completely speechless. She asks if this whole thing was a setup, and he nods. Just a pathetic setup by total fools. She whispers that Miss Liu was just another victim, and Fang stares back. He tells her clearly that his mess dragged her into this. He gives her a heartfelt apology, something he has never done before. Ningbing is completely stunned, her gaze incredibly complex. There is relief, there is guilt, and something else completely hidden. She softly asks what he plans to do next. Fang just smiles here, reaching out to gently ruffle the poor boy's head. His hair is incredibly soft, carrying this faint, super clean shampoo scent. He freezes, but does not pull away. Progress right here. Fang stands up and walks over to the window. Staring out at the bright sunshine, he knows it is time to make that idiot pay. He is going to teach him a lesson he will never forget. For the next 2 days, Fang stays indoors, fully spending his time with Bai Ningbing. They cook meals together and binge-watch movies all day long. We even see them watering the flowers together, looking like a totally normal couple. Honestly, this unexpected crisis actually brought the two of them way closer. Bai Ningbing stops keeping his distance and finally starts to let his guard down. Sometimes he steals quick glances, but the exact second he gets caught, he quickly looks away like a startled rabbit, which is honestly so wholesome. With blushing cheeks, he even starts taking the initiative to chat with Fang, asking if Europe was fun or if Fang likes his new curtains. That night, instead of his room, he knocks on Fang's door, clutching a pillow. He keeps his head down, whispering that he is too scared to sleep alone. His voice is barely audible, his bare feet shifting nervously on the cold floor. Completely caught off guard, Fang tells him to take the bed. Fang offers to sleep on the couch, but the boy quickly shakes his head. He mumbles that the bed is big enough for both of them. And just like that, they share a bed, keeping a strict distance between them. Fang can clearly hear the boy's racing pulse, while his own heart beats wildly too. Lying in the dark, breathing in that clean shampoo scent, Fang smiles. For the first time, he thinks that maybe this marriage is not so bad after all. But while things are sweet here, a massive storm is brewing in the background. Fang's assistant, Old Chen, is built different, wrapping up the investigation in 2 days. He uncovers everything, starting with the fake driver who tried to set Fang up. The guy is actually Ji Boda's right-hand man, and that high-level keycard? It was cloned, and the person who leaked the security details? Turns out it was Fang's loyal gardener of 10 years whose son got into massive debt. Ji Boda's men leveraged those debts, and now every single piece of evidence points right at him. Old Chen asks over the phone if they should strike now, his voice cold. Fang just leans back, tossing an apple in his hand, telling him to relax. He wants to let Jim Boda celebrate just a little bit longer. Asking if the Ji family's company is currently bidding on that prime southern land. Old Chen confirms they mortgaged almost all their liquid assets to secure it. Perfect. Fang smirks, ordering him to take the secret files they gathered earlier, send them anonymously to their main competitor, and drop a hint about Ji Boda's schemes. Make sure Liu Ruyan finds out about his dirty work too. Old Chen understands completely. Fang also adds that the old gardener and his family need to be moved. They must leave immediately through secret channels and settle down safely in another country. Fang will personally cover the expenses, which leaves Old Chen completely silent. He reminds Fang that the old man betrayed him, but Fang just sighs. The gardener had no other choice, Fang says quietly. Honestly, what a class act boss. Fang Yuan basically warns them, even if his people mess up, the Ji family can't touch them. Understood, the guy on the other end says, before hanging up. Meanwhile, his gorgeous wife, Bai Ningbing, walks over with a plate of freshly cut fruit. Is that work? She asks, and he just shrugs it off as nothing. He takes the plate, picks up a slice of apple, and feeds it to her. She naturally takes a bite as the warm sunlight pours in through the massive windows. It paints her in a golden glow, making the whole moment look absolutely peaceful. You'd honestly hope this sweet peace lasts forever, but there are always annoying haters looking for trouble. Always trying to ruin the vibe. 3 days later, the city's big annual charity gala finally kicks off. As representatives of the elite Fang and Bai families, our power couple has to attend. Fang Yuan suits up in a sharp tuxedo, while Bai Ningbing rocks a stunning light blue evening gown. She looks like a literal princess from a fairy tale, and for the first time, he holds her hand. Her hand is incredibly soft, slightly trembling as he gently squeezes it in his palm. Don't be nervous, I have got you, he whispers softly to her. She looks up at him with a sweet, relieved smile that melts your heart. The party is packed, and the second they walk in, all eyes are on them. Wait, is not that the useless eldest son of the Fang family?
And isn't that the gorgeous heiress of the Bai family? Aren't they married?
Why does it feel like this is our first time actually seeing them together?
Seriously, talk about a flower in the mud. Miss Bai is way too good for him.
All the toxic gossip whispers through the crowd, landing perfectly right in their ears. Bai Ningbing's body instantly tenses up, but Fang Yuan just holds her hand even tighter. "Ignore these flies," he whispers in her ear. "We only came here for the food." With that, he pulls her straight toward the buffet area, grabbing a couple of plates. He piles her plate high with her favorite seafood and desserts, completely ignoring all the haters staring. Seriously, this man does not know what embarrassment means. He is just built different. If he is not embarrassed, they are. Suddenly, a cold voice calls out his name. A cold, familiar voice cuts through the air from behind. It is the toxic ex, Liu Ruyan. He slowly turns around, and yep, there she is. She is wearing a black strapless gown, trying way too hard to play the queen.
She tries to act like an arrogant queen, but her gaze immediately drops to their held hands.
She freezes for a second, her eyes swirling with pure jealousy. "President Liu," he says. "What a coincidence," he greets her. His tone is completely cold and detached. Standing right beside him, a nervous Bai Ningbing gently squeezes his hand. "I need to talk to you," Liu Ruyan demands, looking straight at him. "I do not think we have anything to discuss," he fires back with zero hesitation. "It is about that night," she snaps, raising her voice. Fang Yuan just raises an eyebrow. "Seems my guy handled it well because I have already completely forgotten about that night." He casually places a slice of tiramisu onto Bai Ningbing's plate. "My wife is hungry, so if you will excuse us." He pulls Bai Ningbing away to leave, but Liu Ruyan's voice suddenly screeches out to stop. Her voice carries a frantic panic and anger she does not even notice herself. He stops, but does not bother turning around, just looking back over his shoulder. Glancing back with a completely annoyed side eye, he asks if she has more business with him. "My wife's stomach can't wait." Honestly, that line was an absolute slap in the face. And boom! That massive slap landed right on Liu Ruyan's perpetually frozen pretty face. Instantly, she went dead pale, still trying to speak. But out of nowhere, a super sleazy, annoying voice cuts her right off. "Oh my, isn't this young Master Fang dumping your old flame for a new toy already? How ruthless!" That is enough to make a grown man cry. Turning around, let's see who is talking. It is none other than Boda, smugly strolling over with a champagne glass in hand. This absolute clown is dressed up in a flashy white suit, trying to look important. His hair is slicked so greasy, he literally looks like a disgusting fly fresh out of a fryer. He immediately slides right next to Liu Ruyan, acting like her self-proclaimed white knight. Giving our boy Fang Yuan this super condescending look, he tells her not to waste her breath. He talks to her, but his voice is incredibly loud. The guy wants the entire banquet hall to hear him call Fang Yuan a useless trust fund parasite. According to him, Fang Yuan is not even worthy of carrying her shoes, making her engagement breakup look genius. Right after he finishes, the crowd around them immediately starts whispering and snickering. Hearing this, Bai Ningbing turns pale, her whole body starting to shake. She tightly grabs Fang Yuan's hand, and you can tell she is absolutely furious and hurt. Our boy gently pats her hand to calm her down, finally looking up at Boda. Fang Yuan has zero expression, looking at this clown like he is a piece of trash. He lazily speaks up, saying, "Oh right, Boda, I actually remember you." Apparently, Boda's dad used to bow to Fang Yuan's father like a cooked, completely bent-over shrimp. Fang Yuan mockingly adds that he seriously thought the old man had some spinal disease. His voice is quiet, but it carries clearly. The snickering stops instantly. Oh, the burn! Boda's face turns a nasty shade of purple. Our boy literally hit him where it hurts. He points at Fang Yuan, screaming in rage about what he can do besides being born rich. What can he do? Fang Yuan just slowly picks up a piece of mango mousse. He feeds it to Bai Ningbing right in front of everyone before even looking back. Then he turns back to Boda with the most polite, threatening smile ever. He says he can actually do a lot of things. For example, Fang Yuan reveals he knows Boda slipped some South American drug into President Liu's drink at that club. using a special drug called Angel's Kiss. Talk about a massive plot twist. Boda turns ghostly pale with every single word, while Liu Ruyan is completely stunned. Fang Yuan doesn't even stop there, continuing to drop truth bombs like it is nothing. He exposes the Boda bribed his family's gardener with 500,000 yuan. Just a copy of high-clearance keycard. And then our boy acts like he just remembered something. Slapping his forehead, he brings up the fake driver who tried to kidnap Liu Ruyan, asking if that thug's name was Ah Biao, who stuffed her into a black van.
Fang Yuan tells him his thug's acting was pure trash and needs more training. The dude should at least wear a mask properly, since his massive mole is dead obvious.
Right as he stops talking, the entire banquet hall goes absolutely silent. Bro, the silence is deafening. Every single eye in the banquet crowd immediately locks onto G. Boda, who is pale as paper, he's shaking, stammering out how on earth Fang Yuan knows all of this. His hands are trembling so hard, his champagne glass slips and crashes to the ground. It shatters into pieces, while Liu Ruyan stands there looking absolutely shell-shocked. She stares at Fang Yuan, and for the first time her icy eyes break character, showing only pure confusion and disbelief. What an absolute masterpiece of a beatdown. On top of that, he felt a shock he couldn't even explain. His version of the truth was barely the tip of the iceberg. The guy he always looked down on as useless suddenly seemed like an omnipotent god standing right in front of him, effortlessly dragging every single piece of their dirty scheme right out into the open. Even Bai Ningbing was completely stunned, her mouth slightly hanging open. She looked at Fang Yuan and then at the utterly shattered Boda before her eyes lit up with the same brilliant glow. It was a look filled with pure admiration, pride, and total relief. She squeezed his hand even tighter, which was exactly the kind of effect Fang Yuan wanted. He wanted to make sure everyone knew that absolutely nobody messes with Fang Yuan's people. And his wife was completely off limits, without even looking down at Boda, who was basically collapsing. Fang Yuan shifted his gaze over to Liu Ruyan, a cold, mocking smirk playing on his lips as he addressed her as President Liu, asking her if she still thought he owed her any explanation for what happened that night. Liu Ruyan's lips trembled violently, but she couldn't squeeze out a single word. Honestly, watching this ex-wife realize she messed up is so satisfying. He never needed to explain, she was just blind. Too bored to waste another second talking to them, Fang Yuan pulled his phone from his pocket.
Without even unlocking it, he brought it to his ear, pretending he was actually on a call.
Addressing the line as Old Chen, his voice was low, yet it carried an undeniable authority. Ordering that the G family shouldn't get a single inch of the South City logistics, and to notify the banquet hosts. To kick out everyone with the last name G within 5 minutes because they were an absolute eyesore. After hanging up and pocketing the phone, he turned to look at Bai Ningbing with pure tenderness, as if the terrifyingly ruthless man from just a second ago wasn't him at all. Gently telling his wife that they should go try the Black Forest cake over there. Hearing it tasted pretty good, Bai Ningbing nodded her head eagerly. With stars practically spilling from her eyes, Fang Yuan took her hand. Under everyone's absolutely awed, shocked, and incredibly envious gazes, they calmly walked through the crowd toward the dessert area, leaving behind Boda's desperate screams and the rushed footsteps of the organizers, while Liu Ruyan stood frozen in place like an ice sculpture. She just stared at his retreating back, watching him gently care for Bai Ningbing, wiping the cream from the corner of her lips as they shared a sweet, smiling moment. A wave of deep, unprecedented regret crawled over her like twisting vines, squeezing her heart so tightly that she could barely even breathe. For the first time, she realized how catastrophically she had messed up. Meanwhile, the vibe at the dessert table was completely different from the intense standoff just moments ago, filled with beautiful music, filled with exquisite pastries, and the starstruck girl standing right beside him. Fang Yuan, you were so cool just now, Bai Ningbing whispered softly in his ear. Her cheeks flushed bright red, whether from pure excitement or shyness. Fang Yuan forked a small piece of the Black Forest cake and held it up to her lips, chuckling as he asked just how cool he was while she took a soft bite of the cake. Some cream stuck to the corner of her lips, making her look like a little cat sneaking treats. mumbling with her mouth full that he looked exactly like one of those overbearing CEOs from web novels. He laughed softly, reaching out his finger to gently wipe the cream away from her lips. And right in front of her, he licks the cream directly off his own finger. Calling it sweet, causing Bai Ningbing's face to flush completely red as she looked down, too shy to meet his eyes. Her heart pounded wildly. Meanwhile, a few nearby girls who had been sneaking glances witnessed the whole thing and let out suppressed, excited squeals, covering their mouths with absolute fangirl faces. Honestly, you gotta admit, this wholesome payoff hits different. Honestly, watching our lazy main character drop the act to flex and protect his girl is so satisfying. Mr. Fang, Miss Bai, a gentle voice suddenly calls out. It completely interrupts their cute moment, and they turn to see an elderly white-haired man. But don't let the age fool you. He's sharp, leaning on a cane. He's smiling warmly at them. None other than the old head of the Bai family. This is Bai Ningbing's grandfather, the old fox who insisted on keeping his word back then. He was the one who demanded his granddaughter marry Fang Yuan, and the moment she sees him, she immediately greets him with a sweet smile, while Fang Yuan just nods politely. The old man waves it off, his sharp eyes instantly sizing up the young man. There is deep approval in his gaze, along with a hidden trace of wariness. He tells Fang Yuan that he saw everything just now, and he did well. He says they did not bring any shame to either family's reputation, which is clearly meant for him. You flatter me, Fang Yuan replies with a completely calm expression. He claims he simply does not like annoying flies buzzing in his ear and disturbing his wife's dinner. The old man laughs out loud. What a great excuse about not ruining his wife's dinner. He tells Bai Ningbing she found a good husband, making her blush even harder. Shyly, she lowers her head as the grandfather tells the youngsters to keep enjoying themselves. He won't stay and bother them anymore, but before the old man leaves, he gives Fang Yuan one last highly meaningful look, telling him to come over to his house sometime to play a few games of chess with him, which Fang Yuan calmly agrees to. Fang Yuan knows this old fox is only showing interest because he was shaken by his performance today. This invite is both a test and an attempt to get on his good side. Once the old patriarch leaves, the whole atmosphere of the banquet turns incredibly subtle. Absolutely nobody dares to look at Fang Yuan with that garbage contempt anymore. Now they look at him with pure awe, intense curiosity, and deep intrigue. Everyone is desperately trying to guess how this supposedly useless young master managed to hide such massive power, with several guests even holding up wine glasses, wanting to come over and suck up, only to be forced back by his cold glare. Because his only mission tonight is to accompany his wife for dinner. He is not interested in socializing, but then Bai Ningbing gently tugs his sleeve. She quietly whispers that they should go home now. There are too many people here, and Fang Yuan looks at her. She clearly feels uncomfortable being the center of attention in a crowded room like this. Honestly, the show is over. The faces are slapped. It is the perfect time to leave, so he puts down his plate. Holding her hand, they prepare to walk out, but right as they reach the entrance of the banquet hall, they find themselves blocked by none other than Liu Ruyan. She has somehow managed to regain her composure, although her face is still incredibly pale. The harsh coldness in her eyes seems to have melted, completely replaced by something else. It is a highly complicated emotion as she begs Fang Yuan for a quick chat. Her voice is raspy, but before Fang Yuan can even open his mouth, Bai Ningbing immediately takes a protective step forward, standing right in front of him. Although her body is trembling slightly, her gaze is completely firm as she addresses her. She tells Liu Ruyan that her husband already made it clear he won't talk. This is literally the first time we see Bai Ningbing show such a fiercely protective side. She is acting like a tiny kitten protecting her food, completely harmless, but so cute. But she still bears her tiny claws, and honestly, it completely melts his heart. Fang Yuan pulls her behind him to protect her and just shakes his head at Liu Ruyan. He tells her that whatever his wife says goes. Talk about an absolute double standard. He wants the whole world to see that Bai Ningbing gets absolute special treatment. Liu Ruyan actually stumbles back, the light in her eyes completely dying out. She stares at their locked hands and how protectively he stands in front of his wife. A tragic, bitter smile creeps onto her face as she whispers that she finally understands. She takes a deep, heavy breath, using every bit of her remaining strength to apologize. She says she is sorry for everything, admits she misjudged him, and immediately turns to leave. She disappears lonely into the night, her back looking incredibly small and desolate. She is a shell of the powerful queen who walked in. Talk about a satisfying payoff. Seeing the regretful ex finally realize what a gem she threw away is always pure gold. Now she's left with endless regret, forced to watch his happy life from afar. This is the exact kind of emotional karma we love to see in these stories. Fang Yuan watches her walk away without feeling a single ounce of pity. She made her own bed, and now she has to lie in it. He looks away and gently tells Bai Ningbing that it is time to head home. She nods, and the entire car ride back is incredibly quiet and peaceful. She just rests her head on his shoulder, holding onto his arm like her life depends on it. She looks like a tiny boat that finally found a safe harbor to anchor in. Tonight was a lot for her to process, but mostly, she just feels completely safe now. The second they step through the front door at home, Bai Ningbing stands on her tiptoes. She gives him a quick, soft peck on the lips. Then, like a startled rabbit, she dashes straight upstairs, leaving him standing there, touching his lips in absolute shock. He can still feel her soft touch and a lingering, sweet scent on his lips. He smiles. She is getting way too bold. That night, they share the bed again. But this time, that invisible barrier dividing them is completely gone. Midnight comes, and a soft, delicate body carefully slides right into his warm embrace. He opens his eyes, only able to see her soft silhouette in the dark. He stays still, gently wrapping his arms around her to pull her in close. Her tense body immediately melts into his arms, finding the perfect, cozy spot. Snuggling against him, she softly murmurs his name, Fang Yuan, like she is dreaming. Hearing her whisper how glad she is that he is here completely melts his heart. Forget about his plan to just lay low and live a careless, lazy life. Holding this sweet girl in his arms, he realizes that protecting her is all that matters. Keeping her this happy for the rest of her life actually sounds like a dream. A man has to have some goals, right? The next morning, he finally sleeps in. By the time he wakes up, she is gone, but the delicious smell of breakfast fills the air. He heads downstairs to find Bai Ningbing wearing a cute pink apron, busy cooking. She is bustling around the kitchen when she hears his quiet footsteps approaching. She spins around and greets him with the most brilliant, breathtaking smile. She tells him to quickly wash up because breakfast is almost ready. Morning sunlight pours over her, making the entire scene look incredibly cozy and perfect. He walks right up and wraps his arms around her from behind, causing her to instantly stiffen up. She relaxes right away, letting Fang Yuan rest his chin on her shoulder, and honestly, these two are too cute. Smelling her sweet hair, he lazily asks what delicious food she is cooking. She softly answers that she is making some fresh seafood porridge and steamed buns just for him. She turns to kiss his cheek, whispering that he worked too hard last night. Since he needs to recharge, her sweet affection makes his heart race. Wrapping his arms tightly around her, he pulls her close and whispers that breakfast alone won't be enough. He leans in close to her ear, his voice dropping low as his breathing starts getting heavy. He says he needs to eat something else, dropping a massive, heavy hint. Her face instantly turns beet red, and she playfully nudges him with her elbow to stop. She tells him to behave before the porridge burns, making him laugh. He reluctantly lets her go, and soon they sit down together to enjoy their cozy breakfast. While happily eating his porridge, he scrolls through his phone and a major financial news headline catches his eye. The report says the G Group stock is crashing after losing the project. G Group was completely disqualified from the massive South City project for malicious bidding and shady practices. On top of that, their internal financial scandals got exposed, vaporizing 30% of their value overnight. Talk about instant karma. They are on the verge of bankruptcy, and the project is gone. The brand new company taking over is run by none other than his toxic ex, Liu Ruyan. Fang Yuan raises an eyebrow, shocked she moved so fast. It looks like she is not just trying to make amends, but desperately wants to prove her worth to him. But he honestly does not care anymore. She asks what he is reading.
Bai Ningbing curiously leans in to look, but he tells her it is absolutely nothing. He casually explains that some foolish company is just going under, brushing it off completely. He turns off the news, shielding his girl from the corporate drama. He wants to protect her peace. He only wants her to live in the peaceful, simple world he built just for her.
Right then, his phone suddenly starts buzzing on the table.
It is an unknown number, and he answers it only to hear a familiar voice calling his name.
From the other end, Liu Ruyan speaks.
Her voice sounds completely exhausted, making him instantly frown in pure annoyance. He glances over at Bai Ningbing beside him, quickly realizing that she heard the ex on the phone too. Seeing her smile fade, he puts it on speaker.
Right in front of her, he speaks to his ex with absolute irritation in his voice.
He asks President Liu why someone so busy would ever find the time to call him.
He tells her she does not need to thank him for the project. He says he just hated the Jai family, but she pauses before saying she is not calling for that. She says she wants to meet up because she really needs to explain everything to him in person.
He cuts her off instantly, saying they have nothing left to discuss.
He adds that his wife will get upset. He deliberately blows a loud kiss into the phone right in front of Bai Ningbing. Honestly, what a legend. She is stunned by his sudden gesture before realizing his clever plan. Her face instantly turns beet red as she feels incredibly shy but desperately wants to laugh.
She lowers her head and stuffs a steamed bun in her mouth as the other side goes dead silent.
He can easily picture the pure shock on her icy face.
It must be an absolute masterpiece of a reaction, and after what feels like an eternity,
she finally speaks in a faint, defeated whisper, saying that she finally understands. So he apologizes, hangs up, and puts his phone down. Right away, he sees Bai Ningbing staring at him with pure adoration, making him ask why she's looking at him like that. She puts down her chopsticks and says he is too good to her.
He playfully pinches her nose and tells her she's his wife, so of course he is.
If he's not good to her, who else? That's the price of absolute trust.
It's pure, unfiltered favoritism. Honestly, seeing her happy is all the payoff he needs, and he is absolutely here for it.
After reading, he gets ready to hit the private gym.
But then, Lao Chen calls with a major twist.
Lao Chen sounds pretty tense, mentioning that Lao's son, the guy they were supposed to smuggle abroad, actually went straight to the police and confessed yesterday. Fang Yuan is stunned. Confessed? The guy took the fall for everything, claiming it was just his own temporary greed. He stole the card for Jiboda.
But as for what Jiboda actually did with it, Lao Sun claimed complete ignorance. On top of that, he even handed over all $500,000 he was paid.
Fang Yuan narrows his eyes. Things are getting interesting.
Why would he surrender? No desperate father does this. A loving father simply wouldn't choose this.
Fang Yuan orders a check on who Lao's son saw beforehand, and Lao Chen's voice drops.
Turns out he met with Liu Ruyan. Yep, that woman again. What is she playing at? Forced surrender is wild. By having him take the fall, she is cleaning up his mess, saving him the trouble. She's basically shifting this entire corporate conspiracy against his family into a simple, basic case. Just a basic theft. Now, neither family will face backlash. They are completely off the hook, totally safe from negative publicity. Is she trying to make amends or just win him back? Lao Chen admits her move was actually genius.
She basically handed Fang Yuan a massive favor while keeping her own hands clean.
It completely corners the Ji family while saving face for everyone. Yeah, pretty clever, Fang Yuan scoffs, but she's playing her games with the wrong guy. I mean, does Fang Yuan really look like he needs her favors or her protection? Honestly, the more she tries to help, the more pathetic and foolish her past behavior looks. It is literally hilarious. Lao Chen asks if they should just ignore her entirely.
Fang Yuan cuts him off, saying if she wants to play games, let her play alone.
They'll just grab some popcorn and watch the drama unfold. He hangs up.
Bai Ningbing is staring at him, asking if everything's okay. He pulls her close, reassuring her it is just some attention-seeking peacock trying to steal the spotlight.
Best to just ignore her. Ningbing nods, not fully getting it, but trusting him anyway. She doesn't pry further, and honestly, her complete, unquestioning trust makes him feel so damn good.
It warms his heart. Come on, work out with me. She pouts, asking if she really has to.
Oh, absolutely. Time to see if his 8-pack got soft. With a smirk, he just picks her up and scoops her into a smooth, effortless princess carry. She squeals in surprise as they head straight to the home gym. This is the absolute dream life right here. Good food, a gorgeous wife, and a killer workout. Plus some hater face slapping to keep things spicy. He's ready to let it go, but he clearly underestimated Liu Ruyan's toxic obsession. Or maybe we just completely underestimated how desperate her regret actually was. Over the next few weeks, Liu Ruyan basically became a ghost. She constantly popped up in Fang Yuan's life. Whenever he visited his office, she would magically show up for a meeting. He would take Bai Ningbing to a restaurant, and she would have the table next door. Even shopping at the mall, she would show up browsing the exact same brand. Every single time, she was just looking for any excuse to talk. But he completely ignored her, either walking away or pulling his wife with him. Honestly, Bai Ningbing was a total sweetheart, acting like his personal little bodyguard. She marked her territory, telling Miss Liu that her husband did not like being disturbed. She would tell her that the clothes here did not suit her. Or she would even say the elevator was too full and ask her to wait. Seeing his gentle lamb of a wife go to battle like this was incredible. Confronting the powerful Liu Ruyan with these hilarious passive-aggressive remarks. It was absolutely hilarious, and every single time Liu Ruyan got shut down, she would just quietly back away, her cold face looking more miserable and regretful than ever. It was pure karma. At this point, it literally became a source of entertainment. For the happy couple, they were basically living out the ultimate regret manhwa storyline in real life. A live drama playing out daily. One afternoon, Fang Yuan was in his study, reviewing some important company files when Bai Ningbing walked in carrying some sweet rice wine. She smiled and told him to take a quick break. He set his paperwork aside and drank the whole glass in one go. It was perfectly sweet and rich, exactly how he liked it. He praised her, telling her that her skills were getting way better. She beamed with joy and naturally sat right down on his lap. Wrapping her arms around his neck, she playfully asked who his exclusive brewer was. She was becoming so much more clingy and adorable these days. He absolutely loved it. She snuggled closer into his chest. Then suddenly looked up and asked Fang Yuan a question. She wondered why Miss Liu kept pestering him when she already knew she messed up. Fang Yuan pinched her nose, jokingly saying she was probably blind in the past. Now she wants a cure, but too bad he is not running a clinic here. Laughing, she admitted that the woman actually looked a bit pitiful. Seeing her standing all alone and watching them made her feel like she was about to cry. He teased her, asking if his sweet little wife was feeling soft-hearted. Did she want him to go comfort her? She immediately denied it. Giving his chest a light punch, she said she wished the woman would stay far away. She just felt the regret was real, but Fang Yuan reminded her that was her own problem. Pulling her closer, he told her she only needed to remember one thing. She was his one and only, and absolutely nobody could ever change that. Nodding happily, she planted a sweet kiss right on his cheek. But just as they were getting cozy, a massive piece of news broke online. The headline read that the wealthy heir of the Fang Group had slept in again. Some random gossip blogger had somehow exposed his daily routine of waking up whenever he wanted, only showing up at the office in the afternoon, complete with pictures of his luxury sports cars. Photos of him eating out at different restaurants are posted online with highly sarcastic headlines. They call him a hopeless slacker who is going to ruin the massive Fangxi group. Everyone on the internet starts mocking our boy, claiming the company is completely doomed under him. Netizens are laughing, saying they have never seen anyone this lazy in their entire lives. Fangxi Group is officially cooked, feeling sorry for their shareholders. Meanwhile, Bai Ningbing sees the trending news too. Her face turns bright red with anger, complaining about how unfair everyone is being. They have no idea how capable you actually are, she fumed, looking more furious than him. She grabs her phone to argue with the trolls, but Fang Yuan pulls her back. Pulling her into his chest, he tells her not to waste energy on keyboard warriors. It is just not worth it. Let them talk. It does not actually hurt him. Plus, if everyone thinks he is totally useless, it is actually a major win. No one will bother him anymore. He genuinely enjoys staying out of the spotlight. Honestly, he is thrilled that his lazy reputation is now officially set in stone. Now he can slack off in peace, or so he thinks. But get this, the very next day, the company's stock price does something insane. Instead of crashing from the bad press, the stock hits the daily limit and skyrockets. The whole market is flabbergasted. Financial analysts are scratching their heads in pure confusion. How did a story about a useless heir somehow pump the stock price? Then, a viral article written by a mysterious genius investor drops online. It lays out the truth. Fang Yuan sleeping in is actually their ultimate cheat code. This proves that Fang Group is built different. Their professional management system is so highly advanced and mature that even if the heir literally does absolutely nothing, the business still runs perfectly. It is the peak of modern corporate structure. A company that runs itself is an absolute goldmine. Buy the dip. Once that article went live, everyone had a massive light bulb moment. Of course, the more useless the boss, the better the company's system is. Suddenly, a daily trend called "Did Fang Yuan wake up today?" explodes online. It literally becomes the ultimate barometer for their stock. If he stays in bed, the stock rises. The later he wakes up, the harder it pumps. The board of directors even sends a message begging him to keep sleeping in. Talk about wild! Fang Yuan is just utterly baffled by this turn of events. He just wanted to slack off, but ended up becoming a corporate lucky charm. Now the entire world knows he is a certified elite slacker. But while everyone is busy making memes about his sleep schedule, the gorgeous Liu Ruyan decides to make her move. She releases a massive public statement across top financial outlets defending him. She claims Fang Yuan is not useless at all, but rather a strategic genius. A true leader who knows how to empower and trust his team. His laziness is not sloth. It is supreme confidence and masterful delegation. She literally stakes her personal reputation that Fang Group will achieve historic success under him. Her words send absolute shockwaves through the industry. What a wild twist! Coming from a certified business prodigy, this endorsement carries insane weight. And boom, the entire narrative flips, and everyone begins looking at our boy in a whole new light. Bro, President Liu personally stepped in to back him up. There is definitely a crazy backstory here. Turns out slacking off was just next-level confidence. I am definitely taking notes on this. Basically, everyone else was acting like clowns while the real boss was playing fifth-dimensional chess. Our main character stares at the news screen, looking at Liu Ruyan's dead serious face. He frowns deeply, like, what is this woman actually planning? Is she trying to play nice or declaring war, knocking him off his trash-tier throne? Just to ruin his peaceful slacker life? Right then, his phone buzzes. It is a text from Liu Ruyan, just one single sentence. She says she will not let anyone misunderstand him ever again. He stares at the screen in silence. Standing right next to him, Bai Ningbing sees the text. Her face instantly tenses up with jealousy. She clings to his arm to mark her territory, whispering that the other woman is trying to steal him. There is a clear panic in her voice, but he just smiles and pockets his phone. He gently pinches her cheek, telling her not to worry because nobody can steal him. He never belonged to her anyway. He leans down and kisses Bai Ningbing's soft lips. Outside, the sun is shining bright. A whole new game is about to begin. Honestly, I cannot wait to see what this legendary President Liu is gonna pull next. This series is absolutely cooking, guys.